Here's what Kevin Stefanski had to say about Fields and what he presents to this Browns defense.
Rush and coverage have to work together, and we got to be sticky in coverage, and we got to be true to our rush lanes, and then ultimately, when you're in location to get a player like Justin Fields on the ground or Tyrod Taylor, you got to get him on the ground, and it's really not a one-person job. It really takes all 11.
Kevin, what's the first thing that jumps out to you when you do watch Fields on tape?
Dynamic. He made plays with his arm. He had a nice throw into the end zone there in one of those drives. Made plays with his feet late. There's no shortage of things they can do with him. They have him kind of, and I'm sure now with a full week of practice, they can expand upon that.
Every player's come back.
And there you have it. Full week of practice, so the Browns better be ready. Again, it's an athletic quarterback.
I like some of the guys around him, Dave, and that really will help him. I mentioned some of those guys, and that I think that presents a pretty good challenge, for the Browns defense. And eventually, and maybe now is the time, everybody knew when they signed Andy Dalton, okay, well, then they said, here's our number one guy. Then they drafted Justin Fields. Okay, so Andy Dalton's not your number one guy for long. Everybody knew this was going to happen eventually. Dalton's time, he's dinged up a little bit, so he's not going to go, and we'll see what happens. But if Fields settles in and has a big day, I think the Browns are in trouble, because I like the Bears team. I think they're a team that's up and coming. And remember, Matt Nagy got this job because of what he did in Kansas City, and he was an early part of that Kansas City offense that really got rolling. That's what he's looking for. And there were times when Mitch Trubisky was the quarterback there, Dave, that their offense looked really good. And I know Mitch ended up not being there. He's in Buffalo now as a backup. There were times Mitch played pretty well in that offense. And if you think Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky, and I would assume most folks think he's a better prospect at this point, that might be able to let that offense get to where Matt Nagy wants it to be eventually.